Let's see, who's coming up next? I think, you all know one thing about me, if you know anything about me, and that is that I love Ethel Merman. Does anybody know that? Also, I was lucky enough to be her friend in the last couple of years of her life. And I got to know the real woman, and I got to know how she was funny and brassy, but also vulnerable and a real New York lady. And so it's inevitable that over the years, I would write a show about me and Ethel. But of course it wound up being Merman's Apprentice, which is a show about a little 12-year-old girl and Ethel. And her name is Muriel Plackenstein. It's 1970, and she is running away from home. She runs into Ethel Merman, who's rehearsing for Hello, Dolly. She takes her to lunch at Sardi's. She takes her back to rehearsal. They sing together. David Merrick hears them sing, likes the kid, and decides to star her in the first all-child cast of Hello, Dolly. So Ethel takes little Muriel under her wing, and she becomes Merman's Apprentice. So I'd like to bring out the composer of Merman's Apprentice, David Evans. David? So later in the show, in the second act, and actually we don't have an intermission, do we? So it's still in the first act, Merman has to tell Muriel what it's like to be a star, 8 shows a week for 40 years, and what it takes. And here, the one and only Klea Blackhurst.
Muriel, how do you think I made it through 8 shows a week for 40 years? I mean, being a Broadway star, it ain't a job, it's a calling. It's like taking the veil. 8 shows, you show without fail. No matter how you may feel, you show or the show is a failure. It's like taking a vow. 8 shows, you show and you bow. You give your all, that's the deal, no matter what happens to ail ya. Yes, you give up a lot every day, just to get through each night till you're done. To them you're a luminous star, but what you are, kid, is a nun. You're alert on day 1 and dead by day 4. So Muriel, baby, beware what you pray for. Now don't get me wrong, I'm happy belting a song. But by Saturday night, your belt starts to tighten, your muscles get tight and you wail. But if you can just stay awake till you come home and make your Saturday supper and break out the mail, you recover on Sunday, start again Monday, taking the veil, taking the veil. You exit at 11, you say goodnight to Max. The crowd's been there since 10, and not one has got a pen. Still you smile as the crowd attacks. Oh, Miss Merman, you were great, you were swell. You say thank you, but you know you were great, you were swell. Yeah, but they didn't even see the show. And the ink gets on your fingers, but you sign until you're blue. Then they all want a photo, a handshake, a kiss, and what do you get? The flu. Your standby goes on as a fill-in, while you get to take penicillin, and the grosses go down as you're blowing your nose. The producer has conniptions and he threatens to close. So before you are well, though it's hell, you come back to the show. But you know that if it's a hit, the world that you covet, so you'd better love it. Taking the veil. Good reviews are all baloney when Mary Margaret